So it's about almost 3 minutes 9 a.m. right now. The sprint shootout will be at 1:30, so basically 4.5 hours from now. And I'm staying my local time, which is central United States. Yeah, the weather conditions is clear. It's about 24 degrees Celsius. For a track is about 45 and moderate. Humidity is high. It's about 45, 47%. But there's no basically rain clouds in the sky. The sprint shootout basically it's 12 minutes in the first session, 10 in the next, and 8 in the third. So this is a dramatically much less time. It's going to be a faster format than expected. Garmin's asking about what points. What's going on is that for those who are regular in chat, there's a point system run by the bot. Basically, for just chatting in chat, you get points for being here. There is points you can get for doing super chats and donations as well. Can you blow your nose aggressively to the mic? I'm not Ryan. I'm not going to blow my nose. I typically try and mute my mic. And I don't need to wake up Ryan. He'll be up and about for the sprint anyways. How do you check my points? I believe you can use hash. Okay, exclamation point points is the command. RS, you'd have to ask Ryan about his tissue sponsor. I don't have a tissue sponsor. And we're about, again, a minute or so before lights go green on track for the first qualification session. Again, 12 minutes. Mandatory tires, basically, teams are required to use a medium in SQ1 and SQ2, and then in the third session, SQ3, they are required to use the soft. So again, I'm looking right now. The sprint shootout has started, and why are they playing chicken again? So no cars. So the sprint shootout has started, but no one has got out on track. That's are they playing a game of chicken with track evolution here? Again, because it. So here we go. Max is coming out. Max has come out and and here comes Checo. So Red Bull's going to come out and set their times, and yeah. So one of the things that's going on is that what could be going on is that they're waiting for some teams are maybe waiting go out next to get some sort of track evolution because it did rain last night. So when rain happens, and it did rain pretty hard, the track basically goes green again. So that's one of the things that could be in play is huge track evolution. And you guys don't need to tell us about fixing the map. It should. I'm not sure why it's not active. It should have been calibrated yesterday. Yeah, Frankie says last out without traffic wins. That's possibly what's going on here. But then this is just SQ1. You just need to be in the top 15 to get into the next session. So here we go. Several of the teams are coming out now. So it'll be about a minute or so before we get actual times from Max or Perez. They were the first two out. Here we go. Map is now working. And Max has just started his hot lap. Done in 18.6. Fastest so far. We'll see where Perez comes in. He's going to do it in 18.7. So Perez is about just a tenth off of his teammate. Mio asking about points. We still can't see the top. Yeah, that's still not working at the moment. Max is coming to the end of his second sector right now. He's done a 55.25 through sector 2. Fastest sector 2 so far. We'll see if Perez comes through. He's about to come to the. He has a 55.5. So he's only a quarter of a second off. Max is going to do a 111.888, and Perez is coming to the end of the lap. He does a 112.28. So we got our first two times on the board. Red Bull setting the pace right now. Science has just taken fastest for a sector so far. Charles just finished sector 2. Looks like Ocon just slide in and out. His sector got slotted into 3 with 112.3. So a tenth behind Checo. Albon slots in 4th, 112.5. 3/10 behind Checo. Science, fastest sector 1, sector 2. Leclerc's going to slot into P2 behind Max, the 112.1. Hamilton has taken fastest second sector. So Science is going to go P1 with 117.7. So he's within a tenth of Max at this point. Hamilton's going to go P2, 118.87. So less than a tenth for between him and Russell's going to slot in P4. Again, we still got many drivers out there still to set a time. Everyone has set a time. Everyone's on track right now. Sargent slotting in P10 behind his teammate. 3/10 behind his teammate. Alonso starting his flying lap, and I believe Stroll would be behind him. So right now, Hulkenberg, Zhou, Magnussen, Ricardo, Bottas, and Norris are on out laps, not yet have started their laps. Norris has just started his flying lap. So right now, Sainz is the fastest with 111.796. Alonso's coming to the end of his first sector. Norris is finishing his first sector. Alonso is getting traffic. See how that is affecting his lap. I've seen him pass 3-4 cars already on track. Alonso is two green sectors, so improved in after, and Alonso's gonna come in P7.428 behind. Norris coming to the end of his lap at the moment. Yeah, 2 more seconds before he crosses, and he's going to pass P5 at 0.287, so a quarter of a second behind Sainz. Hulkenberg's going to jump to P7, 112.136. Magnussen's going to jump P5, 112.058. We've got a replay of Oscar hitting some of the curbs and bouncing as a result of it. Yeah, Tom, that it is a mandatory. Max yelling about Checo passing him on a flying lap. Basically they are required to use a medium tire in this session, and then in the next section, Shootout 2, they're required to use a medium tire. So Oscar now on a flying lap right now. His previous lap he was 0.56. He's only 7 hundredths behind Sainz in the first sector. Yeah, the tires allocation on the screen they're not on soft; they're all on mediums, and that's not correct. And I'm not sure why. We may not. I'm not sure we're going to be able to correct that in time for this session. Oscar right now coming in into the second sector right now. He's 0.37 off of Sainz time, lost time in sector 2. Megan says he's got something in his front reflector wheel. Now Oscar's going to be 0.8. He's going to slot in P14. Not. I don't know if that's going to. Oscar might go out. He's got to go around. He's going to have to go around again. He should be able to get around to do another, and then do another flying lap. There are going to be gaps in commentary because I need to stop, look at what's going on, and so I can tell you what's going on. So apologies for those if there are big gaps today. Just trying to there's a lot going on at the moment. Pretty much everyone who had pitted are now on out laps at this point. So Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Magnussen, Leclerc at one point now on a flying lap. We've got 2 minutes to go in the session. Hulkenberg, Perez, Gasly, O'Connor, and Albon are all on out laps at this point. So at this point, we've got Stroll, Zhou, Albon, Tsunoda, and Sargent in the drop zone. Ocon is in the driver on edge, and then Piastri is 14th. So looking at times right now, we're looking at. I mean, everyone in the drop, outside of Sargent, we're looking at within 2/10 really of the drivers at this point. Like from Ricardo down through 19th, we're talking about 2/10, 2, 3, 4/10 separating them. So it's going to be wild as this goes on. Clark looks like he's going to be the first one who's going to cross the line. With 1 minute left to go, he will be the first one to basically set his final lap. Max is in the pits, so he's going to be P3 or whatnot. It's not going to make that much a deal. We have yellow flag in sector 1. Does that go away? No, it's one of the Williams. It's one of the Alpines. Which red flag? And so Ocon is gonna. So Ocon is basically has hit the wall. Has brought out a red flag. Hey, I've seen you, my friend. Red flag. Yeah. So what's going to end up happening? So there's only 33 seconds left on the clock, and because of that, basically the session will not be resumed. There's just not enough time for them to go around and then get to the line after this. So this is going to knock out Stroll, Ocon again. He's going to be 16. Ocon, Stroll, Zhou, Albon, and Sargent are all going to get knocked out because while they were coming around for laps, Again, race control is already basically confirmed what I had just said. SQ1 will not be resumed. So like Stroll being knocked out for no fault of his own. Same as Zhou and Albon. They didn't get a chance to do another lap. Sargent, who knows if he was going to get around again and do a proper lap. He may have been, but again, this accident. Oh, wow, his wheel is off. Go back and take a look. What happened? So Stroll, Esteban is basically getting out of the car, so he is okay. So we got, I think this. Oh, he hit one of the Aston Martin. He hit Alonso. Oh my God! He hit Alonso, lost his wheel, and went into the barrier. What? Uh, oh, he hit Alonso's front. Um, that's crazy. So there's damage to Alonso's car. It looks like Alonso. It looks like Alonso came off the racing line, or came into the racing line, and as Arcon was going around, he basically ran into him. So Alonso at P11 right now, he could be done for this session and be out. We'll see. It's very likely he may be out. He may be P15, not be able to set a time. Wow, that was really crazy. I So again, already, what is George saying? A 10-second time penalty for Archon for existing. I don't know. You got like, I'm not sure what you're talking about, man. That was not his fault. That was definitely. I'd put this more on. Yeah, the race control is going to look at between Ocon and Alonso causing a collision. I would put this more on Alonso's case than for Ocon, because Alonso drifted from the side into the middle of the track. What does shootout mean? Basically, shootout means is the qualification for the sprint race. No, Zeko, no. He blamed Fernando, and you're laughing. No, it really is Fernando's fault. Fernando basically was drifting into the middle of the track, um, and came into where Ocon needed to go. Don't know what to say. Fernando was out of position. So race control is going to take a look at that. We'll see what they say. See what's going to happen. Again, we are in red flag, but the red flag is basically going to be only. It's ended the first session, and it's going to be in red flag until SQ2 starts. They do need to check the barrier because he did hit that hard, so that's part of anything that brings out a yellow flag is going to end up red. Well, that's practice, but they do need to check the barrier because he did hit it significantly. So that's going to take about a few minutes to sort that out. And let's go to live chat. There we go. No, Ocon didn't lose control. He Fernando was out of position, is what I've been saying. You watch with Fernando, he basically drifts, like where he should have been closer to the white line to the left or to the right. My apologies. He should have been more to the right on the track. He was in the middle of the track, and that gives no room for him to go. We will see what race controls, what it states in terms of that. How bad damage the Alpine? It's repairable damage. He will probably have to his wheel well might be something that needs to be replaced. But like the back wing is damaged. It's nothing it's nothing that shouldn't keep him out of the sprint race. Depending on how much time he should be in the sprint race, but he'll definitely be back for tomorrow's race tomorrow. So I'm looking at anything for terms of questions from you in chat at this point. Nova asking, did you see the weather on yesterday's track? On the track, yeah, that was crazy. How the commentator, how the weather basically got really dark. I know in the recap from yesterday, it was referred to as biblically black. Norris and come on, Timmy. So Norris, Piastri, and Ocon will investigation, failing to follow maximum delta time. So they were going too slow, and I'm wondering if that's because they were getting out of the pit slow. What the context of what the stewards are doing here? George is another super chat. That's the corners Ocon hit Max Ocon. Those hits people in those corners. Again, someone in chat's asking, when is tomorrow's race? Is it tomorrow? The Grand Prix is tomorrow. The sprint race is going to be later today. And right now we are in qualification for the sprint race. So one of the things that I'm just looking at right now, Julian Palmer on F1 TV is talking analysis on the accident, and he's putting it more on Ocon's for the incident. And basically, part of it is that his left tires went over the curbs, and that caused him to bounce and then cause oversteer, which allowed him to then careen into Alonso. So that is a new take on this. Different take, and I'm curious where, basically where race control is going to come down. Again, in real time. Again, in real time, it looks like Fernando moved towards Esteban. When you slow it down, you can see these different things. So we'll see what's going on. Again, we are in a red flag right now. This is again for track safety. Esteban hit one of the technical barriers, and whenever that gets dislodged in some way, you've got to put you go back and reset those barriers. Darkman, you've got like at least 5 minutes before SQ2 starts. At least 5 minutes, because they've got to clean up the track. They got to get the barriers right. So it's going to be about minimum 5 minutes before SQ2 starts. And even still, when you get back, if you've missed 2 minutes, no big deal. You get the first times. F1 TV's got a shot of the fan area, I guess would be the best way to call it. It's a bit of we got a dome thing that's really interesting. I want to thank the 5,600 of you watching right now. This is the Racing Tickets YouTube channel, and this is Grash doing commentary for you right now. We've got about 535 likes. Thank you so much. While we've got a time right now, those of you, if you see people who have got green chat names with a badge in front of them, there you have the people who have joined the channel. They have a couple of perks. One of them being these special emotes, which I'm trying to click. There we go. So these special emotes that they have available on the channel. I think the most popular one is probably our box. Shoey is popular if certain individual would do a shoey again. The other thing is that we do have a Discord channel. For those who were here yesterday, basically, Gaspar came. Thank you. I want to thank him for taking up FP1. We recruited him out of our Discord. If you have any inkling that you might commentate one day, you might as well join the Discord channel and be known as part of the community. That's how I ended up being a mod on the channel, and then eventually later on a commentator for the channel. Yeah, it's going to take a while because they have to fix those technical barriers as well as clean up the track. So that is the issue that we're dealing with. Again, for those who are just showing up right now, we are under red flag. This ended SQ1 when Ocon hit Fernando. Again, I'm looking right now, looking for any questions that are coming in from chat. While we've got time, how about you guys tell us where you are from right now? Again, I'm in North Texas right now. I'm about a few hours north of Austin, so where Coda is, and I'm in the Central Time Zone of the United States. I don't have here. The crash is known as Mr. Red Flag. I have been Mr. Red Flag, and this is the first red flag in quite a while for me. So I'm happy to see my old friend come back. So we've got Chris in DFW. So you're just I'm actually north on 993 from DFW, to be quite honest. We've got Colorado, Sri Lanka, Pittsburgh, India, Quebec, Netherlands. Who has the red flag? Ocon hit Fernando, basically, and his wheel came off. We have some South Africa, New York. Paula is in England. Hello. From India, Sydney, Netherlands, Armello, New Zealand, Montreal, England, Bulgaria. Someone was asking about regulations on compounds. Yes. So in SQ1, SQ2, they are required to use the medium tires, and then SQ3, they are required to use the soft tires. So several of you from England, Malaysia, several from Europe. Sweden, Netherlands, Japan, Germany, and Chad is now going faster than I can talk. Turkey, Greece, Holland, Italy, Mars. Okay, Mars. The 9-minute delay on you, my friend. I'm watching right now. You guys are all over the world. Why is the red flag? There was a collision between Ocon and Fernando. He basically hit again. Ocon hit Fernando, crossed to his front system. Basically, Ocon lost his tire during it, and then went into the barrier. So right now, the five drivers that are eliminated is Ocon, Stroll, Zhou, Albon, and Sargent. Basically, that incident basically killed the majority of anyone who was doing a flying lap. Is Fernando and Ocon safe? Yeah, they're both safe. Fernando managed to get back to the pits, and Ocon was able to get out of his car easily. What time is it in Texas right now? It is 9:29 a.m. in Texas. This is Central Time, United States. We fall back an hour tomorrow for daylight saving times because we're crazy like that here in the United States. We're trying to change that, but that's always, I don't know, always weird that we can't get rid of daylight saving times. Yes, SQ2 has been delayed again. We are waiting for basically them to fix the barriers, clean track after the incident that happened at the end of SQ1. Nova F1 saying they're so excited for Las Vegas. I'm actually excited for Vegas. Um, there's good question whether the racing will be any good. We'll find out. But this the spectacle of basically of the cars going down the strip at night. That's just like amazing. Looking through right now. Just again, there's gaps because I'm just looking because one of the worst things ever. Yeah, it is pretty. I mean, it when you understand why it was implemented. Typical American. It's F1's about the racing, not the light show. Um, no, I disagree with you. I mean, don't get me wrong. Racing is the most important piece, but it is still a spectacle. It is still an event, and to see cars driving down the strip in that environment is interesting. Again, I have to bring you to full circle on this. I'm a game designer by trade, and I look at modern game design as not just as the rules and the mechanics of the game, but also the experience that you have when you're playing the game. We can apply this. F1 is another game. Sports in general, as a whole, is a game, and so I apply that just to F1 in general, as I would do any other game. And the fact that we are going to be racing in an environment that brings that type of excitement, that's different, that looks, just that look, that experience, that's important. And I know the hardcore fans are going to take me to task about that. Um, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I disagree with you, and that's perfectly. I mean, I understand where you're coming from a hardcore stance, but I disagree with you, unfortunately. And then again, that's where things are going to be at this moment. People are asking about what's going on with SQ2. Will Alonso be participating? They are working on his car right now. The longer they have to work on that car, the better chance he'll be in SQ2. Again, we are in a red flag scenario right now because we had an incident with Ocon hitting Fernando's car at the very end of SQ1. Ocon went flying over the left front wing and tire of Fernando and went into the barriers. It was a significant barrier hit. Is Alonso okay? Alonso's okay, but ultimately, I mean, is his car ready to go? We will see in a few minutes whether or not he will be ready to go. Hanso is saying here, sprint races are about making more money by the American owners F1. It's not what the fans or the fans or what the fans. It's not for the fans or what the fans want. I actually disagree with you on that one. Essentially, what you're saying is that you don't want more racing action. And as a fan, at my point, I enjoy the sprint races because it is more sprint racing action. Normally we at this point in the weekend, this would be FP3. We have already had a qualification session yesterday, which would have been FP2. So at this point in the weekend, we haven't had any like big news or anything happened. I like the sprint races, sprint weekends. It adds a different flavor to the sprint to a weekend that you normally get. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the normal weekend where you get FP1, FP2, FP3, the quality, then this race. But sprint weekends add an element of unpredictability and add an element that's different. I know Ryan doesn't like them, and I respect that. I respect that if you don't like them, I can respect that point of view. But for me, I enjoy sprint weekends because they add flavor and they break up, every weekend being the same thing. Someone's asking about Mick Schumacher next year. Basically, ultimately, it ends up being, is he going to take? I mean, the only seat that's not pinned down 100% right now is Sargent's seat. Ultimately, okay, SQ2 will start at 11:40, so about 4 minutes now, SQ2 will start. Getting back to Schumacher, the only seat that he could take would be the Williams seat at this point. What's taking so long? They had to, fix the track, fix the barrier. A bunch of other things needed to happen before they can get back to SQ2. So SQ2 is going to be starting in about 4 minutes now. Again, this is the Racing Statistics YouTube channel. There's about 5,552 watching right now, about 661 likes already. Thank you so much. This is the Sprint Shootout watch along. Again, we've been in red flag after SQ1 ended with Ocon hitting Fernando. Ocon obviously is going to be out for the he was eliminated. His car was dramatically damaged. Fernando's car was damaged, but is unsure whether or not he will be back on track. People are talking about rumors at the moment. So the first one is the Abu Dhabi will be canceled. That is someone basically is extrapolating what is going on in the Middle East and taking a little too far. That rumor is false. It's not in danger of being canceled. The other one that I saw in chat was basically Perez seat has also not been down, bro. Bro, he's under contract. Bro, he's second in the constructors. Will probably finish third. He's safe. I don't know, like, there's like a lot of Perez hate, but like, yeah, no, he will be racing next year because ultimately, um, Ricardo's not ready to go, and Yuki's not ready to take that seat, and Liam is like green as heck, and you're not going to throw in someone totally green in that Red Bull seat. So ultimately, Perez is going to be racing next year. Does Fondo have floor damage? Does anyone know? We don't know off the top of my head right now. Someone else in chat might know if they can. Just point that. Yeah, so we've got someone here saying real American fans. Dude, don't go there. That's like that's outrageous that you're going to be like, oh, real American fans. So I'm not a real American because I'm thrilled about Vegas. That's a bunch of baloney, to be quite honest. That is gatekeeping of the highest gatekeeping sort, and that's baloney. Yeah, no, there's a lot of real Americans who are really interested in what's going to happen in Vegas. Yeah, sorry. We have been in red flag. Again, ultimately, we're still in red flag because ultimately SQ2 hasn't started yet. We're about a minute from when, and there we go. Max is out of the gates, so that should be cleared in about a moment or so. Here comes Mercedes coming out of the gates. Someone says, "What do you think about Alonso and Red Bull rumors?" Yeah, that's baloney. There's nothing to those rumors. Someone's asking again, what happened with Alonso? Ocon managed to hit Alonso at the end of SQ1. That's going to be investigated, and we'll get a again later on from the stewards about what they're going to do with that. How long we're waiting about? Max is just coming out of the pit lane right now. Checo will be second, so we just started SQ2. So give us a moment. We are not in red flag anymore. We are under green flag. So someone's asking why the red flag. Red flag A was the end of SQ1. I know that should be green flag. Shouldn't be a red flag. Watching Manchester United win. Congratulations to you, my friend, for being a Manchester U fan. Is that Alonso that I'm looking at? Yeah, Alonso is out of. It looks like Alonso is out of his car. So Alonso basically provisionally now 15th. If he does not go out, he will be qualifying in the 15th spot. So we only have to worry about four drivers being eliminated. Other four drivers being eliminated now. Only ones in the pits right now are Ricardo, Gasly, Bottas, and Tsunoda at the moment. Max is now starting the first flying lap. He's the first one to get out on track, and he's reporting that it's Gasly on track as well, and that's something that is to be watched. Wind isn't as bad as it was yesterday, but it will be gusty. What tires are on? They're going to be all on medium tires in this session. Yeah, the timing chart is completely wrong. They're not on soft, they are on mediums. And I'm not sure why that is incorrect. Good morning. No, qualification is similar to the only no. It's not just mandatory tire choice. It's also length of time. So SQ1 is 12 minutes. This session is 10 minutes, and then the third session is 8 minutes long. Max has got two purple sectors right now as he comes to the end. He's in sector 3 right now, about to come to the end of his lap in a moment or so. Perez down to 55 second after 2 sectors. Hamilton coming to the end of sector 2. Max, again, purple across the board, did a 111.4. Hamilton does a 55.2. And that's across 2 sectors. Perez obviously comes in 10th and a half behind Verstappen into slide 2. Hamilton is next across the line. He does a 111.9, so slots in P3. Russell is in his 3rd sector right now. Norris is done sector 1. Oscar has finished sector 2. Russell 10 seconds to finish his lap. He's going to come across the line at 111.9, so he's going to slot in P4. Norris in 3rd sector right now. He does a 111.9. He does a slot in 3rd. His teammate Oscar is right now behind him, about to finish his lap. He does a 111.6, and that's going to slot him into P3. Hulkenberg slots into P4, 111.7. So he's going to split the McLarens right there. Ferrari and are out on track right now. Sainz about to finish his lap in a few seconds. Sainz about to finish sector 2 in a few seconds. Leclerc coming to the line. And Leclerc's going to be 1.75 behind Verstappen. He's going to slot in P3. Sainz was 1.4 at the end of sector 2. Max has gone into the pits. And Sainz is going to slide in 1.11.5. So he's like a 10th and a half behind, a 1.32 behind Max. Perez coming to the pits. So right now, we've got 4 drivers who have not gone on the track. Ricciardo, Alonso, Gasly, and Bottas. They need to come out on track at some point if they have any hope to jump into Shootout 3. Here's Gasly. Now they're taking the blankets. Are they taking the blankets off? They're prepping the car to come out of the garage. We've got 5 minutes to go. So Perez, Verstappen, Hamilton, and Russell have all pitted. So the cars that have already come out on track are pitting. They may go out again. SQ2 with 10 drivers. Yeah, with 5 minutes to go, only 10 drivers are set. So Leclerc did have an issue with, I believe, Max being in the way around just before one of the curves. Complaining about him. I'm not sure that he really impeded him, though. We've got 4 minutes to go. They're pulling. What are they doing with the Ferrari? So Leclerc was being brought to the weight bridge. That's what was going on. We've got 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go in this session. 10 drivers have set times. We've got 5 drivers who have not. One of them being Alonso, probably will not go out at all. And this is going to be one lap wonders. Is Norris safe? Norris is probably safe at P7. I would guess he's probably safe. Magnussen's, it's iffy. I mean, they're only separated by 5/10 from P1 through P9. So we've got Bottas coming out now. We've got one of the Mercedes coming out again. Tsunoda's coming out. Ricciardo's coming out. Hulkenberg, Magnussen. I would guess that Lando should come out to do another lap. We've got Max and Checo coming out as well. So I'm expecting McLarens are definitely, Oscar's coming out, so I would expect Lando would be coming out as well in a moment. Probably lagging because of, yep, there it is. He's out on the lap. The only one who's not come out to be expected is Leclerc. And that's probably a moment. There he goes. So everyone's out on an outlap right now, with the exception of Alonso. And I believe Russell might be on his flying lap. Take a look. As we've got 2 minutes to go. So essentially, basically, as people cross this line, this is going to be their laps. So we'll go a little bit beyond this, but basically, no one's going around again and doing another lap, essentially, for a flying lap. So Bottas is on his flying lap right now. He's already done 325 through the speed trap. That's 202 miles per hour. We've got a moment or so before we get actual times. The track is busy, so that is something that's going to be that's going to be a factor in play here with all these flying laps. Max has already done a flying first sector, and he's improved in the second sector already as well. So he's going to most likely keep that P1 position. No, Frankie, no, Mercedes got out they were ahead of a couple other people. Haas not improving. That's not a good sign. So Bottas is going to go into P7 with a 117.8. That may not be good enough. That's dicey whether he's going to stay in that 7th spot or in the top 10. Tsunoda jumps to P6, 116.1676. That should keep him into Q3. Ricciardo now coming to the line. And he's going to be at 111.6. So he's going to jump up to P2. So Ricciardo is going to finish in P2. So the time has expired. So time's now Gasly P10. That's not going to be good enough to keep him in. Someone's going to jump ahead of him, most likely. Next one coming to the line right now is Hamilton, and we've got Russell and Norris, most likely. Perez jumping to P1, 111.230. Where is Max? Hamilton jumping to P4, 111.476. So these are finish times. These are checkered flags. Russell next. Russell right now is jumping to P5, 111.516. Norris jumping P1, 11.11.221. Again, this is shootout too, so this is not for pole right now. This is just to see who gets into the next session. We know Gasly and Alonso are both out of the next session. Sainz moves up to 6. Max is in the pits. Leclerc moves into P5. I believe that is everything. Yep, that is. So the two Haas's are going to be eliminated. Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Bottas, and then Alonso, who did not get set time in the session due to damage after Q1. So going into this next session, we've got Norris, Perez, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Hamilton, Sainz, Russell, Gasly, and Tsunoda. The interesting surprise is that the AlphaTauris got into Q3. Both AlphaTauris got into Q3. Again, both Haas's being eliminated, both by a tenth. Wow, both P11. Magnussen is 0.051 and Hulkenberg is 0.076. Both within a tenth of Yuki. Gasly is only a tenth and a half off, and Bottas is almost 2/10 off. So we're talking within, again, tenths of what's getting you in and out of this session. Yeah, Magnussen can't believe that he's P11. And again, I don't blame him because he's half of a 0.05 off of Yuki's time. So we got a few minutes right now. Before we get Q3 to start. I want to thank those of you who are here. Over 8,000 of you right now. We've got 801 likes. Thank you so much. Again, this is the Racing Statistics YouTube channel, and this is the live watch along for the sprint shootout. This is Grash, your commentator right now. We've got a few minutes right now. I can take questions in chat. Generic is asking thoughts about Audi potentially bailing out of F1. The only reason why Audi would be bailing out of F1 is that because Porsche would be taking over what they're doing. And let's be blunt here. Basically, Porsche and Audi are two different brands of the same company, so it's not that big of a deal. If that's again, Audi's definitely in. Audi is definitely a company. They under that brand, they have done a lot of racing. So, it wouldn't be too out of, if that's the case where basically Porsche is taking over what Audi is doing, that makes sense. After that, anyone else bailing, like fully bailing, and no, the Audi's not going to fully bail on F1. Looking through right now. Looking through. And SQ3 is going to start in 11:57, so that is about 2 minutes from now. So, okay, 2 minutes before. Someone asking about why red flag. Red flag happened earlier at the end of SQ1 because Ocon hit Alonso on track, and Ocon then slid into hit the barriers. So we needed time to fix the track before going. So, in SQ1 instance, following Tsunoda will be investigated after the session. Failing to follow racetrack instructors, maximum delta time. You can add him to the list of 3 other drivers who are going to be investigated for that as well. And what will probably end up happening is it's probably something like a slow coming out of the pits type scenario. Yeah. Not really sure what they're investigating, why they're announcing that now, where we're now at the end of SQ2. Yeah, I don't know what you wonder sometimes with the stewards what they're doing. So again, we're about a minute to go before things start off on track again. We have only 8 minutes in this session, and they are required to be on the soft tires, the red softs. I'm wondering who of those drivers that are still in the sprint shootout right now, who are you rooting for right now? See, several of you are going for Norris, and then after that, Norris. A couple Honey Badgers, Lewis fans. So we've got green lights. Are they going to sit? So the question is, are they going to sit in the pits for half of this session and then go out? Again, one of the things that is in play, essentially in play, is track evolution. It did rain last night, so they have been rubbering down the track in the previous 2 sessions. Hakeem saying Yuki better than Ricardo. That is a very bold statement, my friend. No one's going out. Yeah, and that's it's a game of chicken with this sprint session, where basically they all do a single flying lap of glory. Figure thing is Ricardo will be FP2, FP3. I honestly, after what happened in SQ1, I would send a car out for a banker lap. I do it now. This is a dangerous game of chicken that they're playing. They're all in their car. They're all just waiting. They're just sitting. Skylegs thinks bets on who goes out first. Welcome to the family, Skylegs. So Udago, these are a lot of new green chat members. So I want to thank you guys for showing up. Jason Hamlin saying that Aaron Senna had the best killer lap in history. Which lap would that be, though, Jason? I'm curious which one you're talking about. You need 70 likes to hit 1,000. That would be great. 60 now. Ellis says to trust him. I'm going to try to. 970 likes so far. Thank you so much. 30 more to go. Anyone out yet? No one's out yet. We got about 5 minutes to go in the session. So they've wasted the first 3 minutes of the session sitting in the garage. And part of it is that this session probably needs to be 5 minutes to begin with, given how they've been behaving. Because basically you only have enough time to go out, do their lap, and then come back in. And I want to thank for those. We've hit 1,000 likes. And again, no one's out on track. So this is just a waiting game. We're coming down to 4 minutes, 15 seconds to go. Here we go. And then five gift memberships. So those in chat right now, they're about to say who you're going to give. Ahmed, welcome to the family. Cricking Jordans and the McLarens and Ferraris are coming out. That was almost an unsafe release there. When the Ferraris coming out, the AlphaTauris both coming out at the same time. Ooh. Red Bull coming up behind. Max coming up behind. Max is going to go past the AlphaTauris and around one of the Ferraris on the pit lane to get ahead of them. Ooh, that's spicy, my friends. Again, those who just got memberships, you now have your green chat name. You also have a badge, and you have access to some of the emojis that Racing just showed you off. So here we go. I think Norris is the first one out. I think Max has managed to sneak past 3 other cars to get to be next on track. Is Ocon fixed? Is Ocon doesn't matter. He was out in SQ1. They're showing Max passing 3 different cars on the pit lane before he goes out. What did Max say? Max says Max says he was being blocked in the pit lane as he passes them on the side, which is allowed. Don't get me wrong; it is definitely not expected, but it is allowed. So Verstappen has done basically two. He's done on his outlap, flying sectors. Oscar's now starting a sector fastest sector 115.5. Norris next with a 118.67 in sector 1. Max though taking fastest sector 118.4. So we've got within tenths of each other. Norris having a flying sector 2, already fastest. See, right now we've got basically a minute left in this shootout, so basically everyone's going to be getting this 1 lap in, and that will be it. Oscar will be the first one to come to the line. He's going to come in at P1 118 187, though he was not as fast as Norris or Verstappen. Norris takes P1 from him 110.62, like 0.5 faster. Verstappen coming in. Max is going to come in slotted in P2, 110.683. Wow, 0.505 off of Norris's time. Leclerc coming in. Perez has fastest first sector. Leclerc is 6th right now, going to move into 3rd with a 111.007. Perez right now, fastest sector 1. He's about to finish his lap. Sainz and then Hamilton next on the board. Perez right now, 6th, going to jump up to 7th. Sorry, no, he's going to jump up to 3rd. He got pushed down by something else. But so Perez going in 3rd, 1.37. Sainz is next to finish off. Sainz comes in at 111. Hamilton comes to P4. Russell stays in 10th. No, he's still in 10th. Sorry, he's only finished sector. That was the end of sector 2. I think he's the last one on the board. He's going to come in 4th. I believe that is going to be our session. Ricardo coming off the line wasn't shown. So right now, Norris is going to take pole for the sprint race. Max is 2nd, Perez 3rd, Hamilton 4th. I'm sorry, Russell 4th. Then Hamilton, Tsunoda, Leclerc, Ricardo, Sainz, Piastri round out the top 10. And that's going to be our sprint shootout. I want to thank, again, this has been the YouTube, Racing Statistics YouTube channel. This has been Grasp doing commentary for you. Just looking for any other questions from chat before I wrap this up. Again, we will have Ryan coming in to do the sprint race later this afternoon. So that's about 3.5 hours from now when that race will begin. We'll be live in about 2.5 hours with music as usual. Again, I want to thank everyone here. I want you guys to have a good afternoon. Have a fun sprint race. Next time you will be seeing me will be for me Thursday night for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So, for those who know the Australian start times, yeah, about the same time. I know the race for Las Vegas is when you do the time zone calculation, it's the same time as the start time for the Australian Grand Prix. So Yeah, it'll be a fun time. We'll see what that track really looks like and what we've got in Vegas. I'm hoping it's a good track. It looks interesting. A lot of straights, and that's something harkens more like a oval track with a few curves. Is what it feels like. So it'll be interesting. All right. Have a good afternoon. I will see you in a few weeks for Vegas, and then and I'll be in chat for the sprint race and for the race tomorrow. Have a good afternoon, everyone, and I'll see you soon.